In this video, we'll talk about Borna Coric's epic win on the court against Stefanos Tsitsipas for the Cincinnati title. The Croatian tennis star's latest victory marks his remarkable comeback from a serious shoulder injury. He ranked 152 when he entered the tournament and came out as the champion when it ended. So, it goes on to show that miracles do happen, right? First up, the Cincinnati title ends up in Borna Coric's lap. Speaking of miracles, if you ask athletes, they'll say their victories result from sheer hard work. Yes, that's what Borna Coric did to lift himself from a 13-month injury hiatus to a winner's status. Coric gave a hard-hitting performance against the Greek player and smashed 4th seed Stefanos with 7-6, 6-2. Not only that, but Borna has also become the lowest-ranking tennis player to ever lift a master trophy. Talk about being the underdog and actually making it to the end of the race. If an outsider looks at the entire scenario, with the likes of Nick Kyrgios, Rafael Nadal, Jannik Sinner, and more making the pool unbearable for rookies, and there, from the corner, Borna Coric lifts the trophy at the end. Quite a roller coaster ride, right? Even when his rival had 10 times as many wins this year compared to Coric, he still managed to outclass some of the best players in the world. His comeback could make for a great movie plot. Borna Coric was a nobody, and only a few years ago, he was included in the top 10 players of the world. But fortunes weren't in his favor for a while, and a shoulder injury kept him away from the game for a long time. Many would think that taking such an extended break would mean the end of their career, but it looks like he was busy practicing. Coric had the toughest draw in the world, and he entered Cincinnati 4-8 on the season. That tells tons about his talent. Up next, Borna Coric talks about his journey to win yet another title. Borna Coric was up against the best of the best, facing Lorenzo Musetti as his first opponent in the qualifier, and then went up against Rafael Nadal and came out the victor. After that, he was up against the top 10 players one after the other, from Roberto Bautista to Stefanos Tsitsipas. From his perspective, he was literally thrown to the sharks. But not only did he survive the onslaught, he also became the lowest-ranking player ever to reach the Cincinnati finals. Borna crushed his opponents with his hard serves, including a 78% first serve percentage in the final. Coric was careful not to make an error with the ball and focused on hitting the ball well on both sides of the court. When the Croatian star was up against his Greek opponent in the finals, he paid extra attention to matching his forehand speed with Tsitsipas. With his 37 winners to 14 unforced errors in the final, Borna Coric delivered a picture-perfect performance that his opponent just couldn't match, triumphing over Stefanos after 1 hour and 57 minutes as he hurled his way through the 4th seed in the second set. When asked about how Borna felt during his on-court interview, he stated that he thought his opponent was pushing him hard at the beginning, and it was a very tough match. But then Coric started to serve better, and that's how he got through. The Cincinnati champion added that he thought he played the best of the whole year. The 35-year-old soared to success in 2017 in Marrakesh and on Grass Hala in 2018. Coric now has 3 tour-level titles on all 3 surfaces, and he gives all the credit to his parents, sister, and team. Coming up, after Cincinnati win, Coric's stats are sky high. Have you ever seen a player start from the bottom and come out as one of the best? No, we aren't talking about Goal or Naruto for that matter, but the hero of the underdogs for today is Borna Coric, who is having the best time of his life. Not only did he start as one of the lowest-ranking players, but he also finished as a low-ranking player. The only difference was that he held the trophy at the end of it. The Croatian star has completed a very successful haul that raised his stats sky high. He has stamped one of the most amazing Masters wins of all time, and his remarkable statistics are witness to that. The unbelievable feat of records continues for Coric, as he has also become the first player in this century to rack in both a Masters and an ATP Challenger Tour title in the same season. The last tennis player to achieve this feat was back in 1992. To voice our disbelief, Borna also stated that it is just an unbelievable feeling, and he will enjoy this. The amazing line of his numbers goes something like this. He beat Lorenzo Musetti 7-6, 6-3, gave Nadal a taste of defeat with 7-6, 4-6, 6-3, and obviously crushed Cameron Norrie with 6-3, 6-4. Borna was truly outstanding in every way, and even confessed that he didn't believe he had any chance of winning the tournament. He climbed a whopping 123 places in the rankings and has his eyes set on the US Open. Let's talk about Borna Coric jumping into the top 30. It might be the biggest jump in tennis this year, because when someone moves from the bottom to the top 30, it almost registers as a miracle. But in this case, it's simply hard work, determination, and pure talent. Starting the tournament with the low ranking of 152, Borna Coric had no idea that by the end of the tournament, he'd be sitting at number 29. He made a gigantic leap thanks to his amazing performance in the Cincinnati finals against Stefanos Tsitsipas. The Croatian star bagged his maiden ATP Masters 1000 title at the Western and Southern Open and gave some of the season's biggest upsets. Even after a solid defeat, the Greek star remains at number 5 and also gave stellar performances to reach the finals. It looks like we can witness some shakeups in the rankings as Borna moves to eye more tournaments, and he might aim to finish the year with style and more trophies. Related news: so, is the king of tennis making a big return? Roger Federer is one of the big three, a true tennis god and a very handsome man. The 20-time Slam champion was out of action since he lost to Hubert Hurkacz in the last year's Wimbledon quarterfinals. The 41-year-old tennis superstar has recently teased fans with a potential comeback this season. His latest social media post confirms his training for the comeback and giving it his all in the gym. This marks Roger's first training video release in April, and it looks like the star is all ready to bring back his magic to the court. Roger Federer will hit the court hard in the 5th edition of the Love Cup in London from the 23rd to the 25th of September. He also has plans to return to the ATP Tour in late October at the Swiss indoors in Basel. As a bonus, fans can feast on the action between the world's most popular tennis stars, including Novak Djokovic, Andy Murray, Rafael Nadal, and of course, Roger Federer, who will be featuring in a Dream Team Europe roster. Since Roger has fallen behind in his ranking, now would be a great time to snatch the crown. Next up, tennis star Cameron Norrie puts a new career high on the board. Many tennis stars had to face a somewhat disappointing exit from the Cincinnati showdown. Despite his defeat at the hands of the tournament's underdog Borna Coric, Cameron Norrie's rankings hit single-digit for the first time in his career. He didn't get the trophy, but his ranking improved from 11 to number 9 on the ATP ladder. He is now one of the top 10 tennis players at the moment. He reached the Wimbledon semifinals in July and had a blast at the Slam, so it's no surprise that even losing at Cincinnati wasn't enough to bring him down. The British star is currently looking for an equally slamming season at the US Open, which is a golden opportunity to further up his ranking. And finally, young tennis protege Emma Raducanu suffers defeat. The 19-year-old British rising star just faced her first ever multiple Grand Slam champion, and she demolished 2 in a row. Emma Raducanu is a true champion in the making, but it looks like she just got a taste of reality after she tasted defeat at the hands of a top 10 opponent for just the second time in her career. Raducanu's excellent run at the Western and Southern Open by Jessica Pegula. Jessica's consistency and greater firepower gave her an edge against the young player as she slammed her in the 3rd round. But for a 19-year-old to do so well in her first face-off against champions is a victory on its own. Even Emma was satisfied with her run and looked proud of herself for her progress. Let's not forget about the fact that Emma dominated Victoria Azarenka and Serena Williams, so there's no denying that she's made for the trophy. That's a wrap for this video. Who do you think will have the best bout going into the upcoming US Open? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.